Hello, I'm going to go over how complex mind control programming really is. So, I've already said this and I'll say it again, but synthetic speech processing, a part of mind control, violates the US Constitution very severely. And I've demonstrated it in my other videos many times, and it's like chance with program that speaks for me. But if I just want to say it violates the Constitution. So if we can get like the Army support and everyone in the Army takes the oath to protect the Constitution, and I think they need to deliver, but they're not equipped to deliver. They're not really equipped to correct. They can't go to war. I mean, like it would be the worst civil war you can imagine. Yeah, it really would be. But my point is, if I look at objects such as paper towel dispenser, phone charger, money, beer cans, like there's so many objects, okay? Like just for example, these are all within an environment. When I look at them, the retina information is processed and selects the object and toggles some programming associated with each object. Whether it's like enact to drink, and I'm looking at a cup and it starts moving my hand. Oh, we're not going to demo this. Well, okay. See, it speaks for me. It stops me and speaks for me and says, we're not going to demo this. That was not me. That was the military telling me we're not going to demo this. So they violate the Constitution constantly, providing updates with information so I can be smarter and better. But my point is, if I look at it, if I take a knife, a regular cutting knife, and I look at this object, and my retina information has selected this paper towel dispenser, and I enact commands, tuck-a-lay. Oh, what's happening this time? What's happening this time? I don't know what happened. I just started moving, like, over here. And I'm caught in a cord, and I'm tangled, but it moved me, and it didn't have me. Usually it actually processing will utilize the command and automate motion towards the paper towel dispenser of the knife, and it didn't this time. There was a new program. So like sometimes you get some results, sometimes you get different results, but I was automated to walk away from the paper towel dispenser and come over here in my house and touch my hand on this cord, and that was that. But there's so many things, like systems that analyze the molecular structure of objects. Like this is glass, and I said this in my last video, but I'm going to describe it better. The system assesses the molecular construction or the molecular form of the object and uses it to weaponize a fall condition. So when I use a command like Queen Elizabeth enact a fall, it moves me immediately towards the glass and pushes my face on the glass. But if this was like heavier modulation, what would happen is I would fall into the glass and it would break the glass, and that would be, a weaponized fall sequence. It would be using the glass to weaponize the automation or loss of control of the body that is occurring. And this is very light processing. So these programs play lightly. Somebody previously described them as like electrical influencing or mind control processing. It is definitely processing. There are lots of plays. Some of them are really serious. For example, and I'll talk about it, but I used a photograph to win. So what I did was I displayed an image that was on the news of Esteban Santiago's handgun. The retina information assessed the weapon, associated it to a previous program, and when I enacted commands, it modulated my body with heavy processing. The most heavy processing that I've ever experienced. Well, close. It's one of the heavier processings. But it was the one time that a full program that was used in an assassination sequence of people played on me. And what happened was the image was detected. It completed the sequence in the program. It knew what I was thinking about. It used the handgun as a picture. And what it did, it placed both my hands together in front of my body. and it walked me. I mean, walked me like this, with my hand out in front and everything. Okay, and went to the first closest person in my home and drew my hands as if it was going to fire on them sitting in this chair. Okay? And what happened is, as soon as I realized I was drawing my hands upward and I was experimenting with my family, it was kind of my call to just drop it. Like, I put my hands down, and here's the thing. It was such a heavy process, but it was a light process of a heavy process. So the heavy process couldn't be defeated. Like Esteban Santiago, when they programmed him to fire in the airport, that program played to me, okay? And I was able to navigate through my house using the program that walked me to the closest individual, closest to me, with my hands drawn as if I was firing on a weapon. Now, take in mind, I used a picture to initiate this process, so the system already assumed that I was armed? Probably. So it knew that the sequence was complete and that it could process this, and a portion of program was reobtained that was used on Esteban originally. So it's a serious, serious play. But I found myself with my hands drawn in front of my dad, and I lowered my hands immediately because I didn't want to really, I don't want to like have harm happen, you know, like, and I was like standing in my living room with my hands drawn looking at my dad, and I was like, forget this, okay, or his wife, both. But it went to the room that they were in automatically. So it tells me the program was intelligent enough to detect the closest human beings to automate my walk path, or the walk path used in the program, to try to assassinate them using a photograph to initiate the entire program. So, I mean, this stuff's really, really advanced. Really advanced. And I've gone really, really far. Farther than anyone has ever gone. Farther than anyone has ever gone. So if you want to understand what's going on with corruption and really big plays, you got to listen to me, because I'm the only person that's going to ever get it out there. But like exercise equipment, walkers, etc. I showed the walker, but I'm going to explain it now. That there's commands that ramp on certain increments of programming. So, like weaken knees, here's a walker. When I stand at the walker and I place both my hands on the walker and I say weaken knees, weaken knees, weaken knees, weaken knees, weaken knees, weaken knees, original version, weaken knees, original version, weaken knees, original version. I had to switch the revision to original version because it wasn't processing, so I had to defeat whatever program had been programmed to stop this. So I use weaken knees, original version, weaken knees, original version, weaken knees, original version, weaken knees, original version, and my legs are bending, okay? Whoa, it's hard to walk, and I just stepped away from the walker, and it's hard to walk, okay? It's different. But if I use commands, strengthen knees, original version, strengthen knees, original version, strengthen knees, original version, strengthen knees, it ramps the command in increments on and on and on to strengthen the knees, weaken the knees, program, etc., which tells me that the military has done a tremendous amount of work around the neurology, or the brain activity that exists in elderly people. And some of them are being preserved, some of them are being eliminated. Okay? Very serious. So it tells me that there's programs that assess the walker in my environmental state, and programs associated with that condition are playable with commands. So they're very serious commands. Like, because if I held the walker and I use a command like enact a fall while holding the walker, I would fall to the ground on occasion. Like, it would automate motion in a light program. Like, I wouldn't just collapse, but you would understand in a heavy sequence, you would be very, very hard to do without falling. Like, you're gonna fall, and it makes me want to fall. So I fell on the floor, and then like I found a program. Check this one out. I found a major program error. Okay, so I used a pen and I changed the description of a pen and it was a pen just like this one from Shumash Casino, actually. Okay, And I changed the association that exists within their programming based on my input to a biological weapon, and then access program information or programming that controlled me as if there was a biological weapons demo. Okay, which means like when the program's playing, automation of motion occurs to evacuate the area immediately and try to get to open air, and it tries to take me out of the house. But if I interrupt that process with another command, like enact to fall, once again, these general commands have many purposes. But if you apply enact to fall in a biological weapons demonstration that's mind controlling the individual that's within a radius to the object that's been assessed as a biological weapon, will actually make me fall to the ground. Enact to choke will make me choke. So, like, there's many plays. Like, you can just play it like a video game, literally. Like, I play myself like a video game, just sitting here popping off with commands, and things happen, like, all the time. So, like, this is real mind control processing. Really secret stuff. Like, I'm so privileged and so blessed to explain this stuff. Like, I swear to you, I will be the only one. I will be the only one. What else can I show you? We can go to an environment with a pool and a walkway on either side. And it's not really a walkway, but you can walk across it. Well, when I place myself in this environment, we have two states of danger, two bodies of water with steps that have been analyzed and processed. But when a command is when you incur a command or speak a command, like evacuate danger, it moves me to my knees. I'm bending my knees. Look at this. I'm bending my knees. I'm placing my hands on the walk path. And now, I need to evacuate danger. Correct. Automation of speech occurs, says correct, and then moves me. Ow. Sorry, my leg's hurting. But I'm trying to demo this. And it crawls across the bridge to evacuate danger. So it's intelligent. It knows the danger state. It knows what it needs to do to the body to get it to leave danger by reducing its elevation, coming to the ground, and actually progressing forward with actions to evacuate danger. Now, you would think if they can evacuate danger, there should be a condition that says that they can actually weaponize that sequence. So you can start to think a little bit more intelligently. So for every danger condition that has an evacuation method, there should be a fall state or some kind of other program associated with the environment that they could weaponize, because they've already programmed that it had danger involved, like connected to it. The environment was dangerous. So I could go a lot with this. I used a command standing in the same position on the pool. Like, I used Barack Obama enact to fall, and it automated motion in my body in different states, and I'll explain both of them. One condition was with the pool. Okay, standing on this walkway, or this partition, if you will. But enact commands Barack Obama enact to fall. It wants me to bend down and play again, evacuate danger. Okay, the first time I played it, Barack Obama enact to fall in that partition, it automated motion of my body towards the pool like it was going to fall in. So it weaponized the fall state using environmental conditions such as the pool. So when I come to my couch and change the environment and I apply the same command, Barack Obama enact to fall, and I'll try to demo it again. So there's the couch. I was standing about here and I said, Barack Obama enact to fall. Oh, and it moves me to fall on the couch. Okay, and there's, like I said, environmental program that understands the objects, the density of objects, the molecular condition of objects, or the molecular construction of objects, knows how soft or hard they are, if they can be used for weaponized fall conditions or weaponized conditions, using the programming for weaponizing sequences and automation and programming. So you get the point. Like, this is just my home. Like, just imagine what's going on in the world, what the military is really working on. Okay? So that's 15 minutes of your day. Thank you very much. I'm sending this to the CIA. and hopefully they respond. Just more attack chants real quick. Fire! 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 This time it just says fire, so still violates the Constitution speaking for me. Get your army on board. Come on, wake up.